What's up, traders? Today we're going to be doing general tips number 9. We're going to be talking about managing your ego and your perspective. So let's get to it. All right, so this one's going to be nice and quick. As always, you guys know that I try to stay as humble as possible, which leads us into number 1. Stay humble, because if you do not, the market will humble you. If you don't check your ego at the door, the market will hold no mercy, and it will make sure to humble you because you won't do it yourself. MTSI, LYV, you guys know these are 2 trades. Search them on my channel. You will see both of them live, or just the recaps from them, where I did not check my ego at the door. I was doing very well at the given time before these trades happened. I did not check my ego at the door. I got into both of these trades and said, I am not losing these trades. Well, guess what? I lost both of them, and I lost a good amount, right? The market humbled me. So number 1 in this lesson, check that ego at the door, or the market will humble you unmercifully. So do it. All right, number 2 is a pretty good one. I like this one a lot because I am a prime example of this. We just talked about this last night as well, how I am trading small share size because I am mastering my strategy, my edge in the market. So whether it be my bias towards my strategy, my risk tolerance that I'm currently using, the time frame that I use the 2 minute. Some people like to use the 1 minute versus the 5 minute versus the 15 minute versus the daily versus the weekly. There's so many different time frames out there that can fit your specific trading style, your strategy, your edge. Now keep in mind, these are all going to be unique to our situation. I may be starting with a $4,000 account. You may be starting with a $40,000 account. Someone might be starting with a $400,000 account. It's all relative to our each individual unique situation. What I want you guys to understand is you need to recognize that. If you've come here to learn from me, just because I am starting with a $4,000 account and I'm using the current share size that I am, and I'm using the 2 minute chart, and I'm using the 1-1-2 strategy, doesn't mean that you have to do all of those things. You can find your own strategy. You can just take tidbits of what I use on a daily basis and implement them into your strategy, whether that be play support and resistance. You know, there's thousands of different strategies out there. We all know that by now. And if you don't, just YouTube strategies to day trade the stock market, and you will see how many different strategies that there actually are within the stock market. It's ridiculous. You can make money so many ways. Finding the one that fits you the best, fits your personality, fits your risk tolerance, fits your situation in life, that's the one that you want to hone in on. Make sure it's profitable. Make sure you can be consistent with it. Make sure you can have risk management alongside it. But keep in mind, as always, it's going to be your bias once it becomes your bias, but you always have to be open-minded with that. Just because you have a bias and you've seen this work a couple times doesn't mean it's going to be profitable long-term. Keep that in mind. I've had strategies in the past that I've used and they worked for a certain period of time. Right now, low floats are a great example. We're at the end of May of 2020 and low floats are going crazy. You see it all over Twitter. You see it all over these other social media platforms that all these people are posting about their low floats. They're just killing it this month. Well, guess what? These don't typically last. They hit a hot spot and then they kind of die off a little bit. They hit a hot spot, then they die off for a little bit. Keep that in mind. That's always a thing. That comes back to number 1, where you need to check your ego at the door. Because if you get into a low float a couple of weeks from now and they're not running like they used to be, and you're so used to them running, you have to realize what's happening. Check that ego at the door. You can't let these just keep going against you saying, it's going to come back. These have been running for the last month. Well, guess what? Today is not last month. That's all I have today. Just those 2 quick ones. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I always appreciate that support. If you have any questions or comments, I always welcome them down below. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I'll catch you guys Monday morning for the live stream. Peace.